All right, guys, welcome to Wednesday Mastermind. Super excited to have the opportunity to teach to all of you guys tonight. So before I do that, one, I have tons of notes, and two, I talk really, really fast. So if anybody needs me to slow down, has questions, or anything at all, please just hit the chat or just feel free to unmute and interrupt me. That's totally cool. And all of that. So, and then when you're popping on, please make sure that you hit the mute button. I'm going to press the mute on everyone now, but, pop a text to your teams as well and like, just let them know, hey, can you guys mute out? So I'm going to mute all right now. Okie dokie. So first and foremost, before I get started here, is it okay that I coach you tonight? If that is okay, throw me up some thumbs up or type yes in the chat box, because I want to, give you guys some specific directive and then also share a little bit of like where my business was to where it's going and be a little bit vulnerable and authentic. So if you guys are cool with all of that, definitely let me know and then we'll get started. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to ask a really serious question, and it's a rhetorical question that I want you guys to think about over the course of the next 24 hours. Why, if you really, really think about this, and it's not about tactical advice, it's not about anything like, well, my upline sucks, like blah, 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 blah. Like, really dig deep and really answer this question. Why is your business not 2 times the size? Does that like sting a little bit if you really, really think about it? Because if you really think about it, like, and remove all of like the nonsensical excuses, like we know what we need to do. Does that make sense? Because when I heard this question, it like hit me like a ton of bricks. And realistically, it's not because I don't have support. It's not because my team's not doing well. It's not because it's me. Like, it is 1000% me showing up, and there's things that I could be doing better and more consistent to build the momentum to launch my business to where it should be. Does that make sense? Cool. So I just want you to think about that. And I really honestly, like, write it down on a piece of paper, like spend 15-20 minutes and write down all of the reasons why it's not 2 times the size. And you'll be really, really surprised at what you get. So just think about that for a sec. So a little bit about my story, and I actually asked Ray to be able to share this a little bit tonight because I think it translates to everyone. I think you guys will get some value out of this because I think sometimes people say, oh, she's a beast and she does this and blah, blah, blah. But like, there is reasons why my business isn't 2 times the size. And it's because I lost momentum and I stopped doing the things that I should be doing on the daily and kind of relied on just the volume being the volume, and it took a deep dive. So then I was like, okay, I'm really all ready to get started. And then first of the year happened and my papa passed away. So that was just a hectic thing that I needed to deal with the past 2 days or 2 weeks. And it just hasn't been, my headspace hasn't been where I would like it to be. And I'm not doing the things, even though I'm saying I want to do the things. My heart's not there. My head's not there. And I want to reiterate to you guys, like, that's okay. And that you just need to understand, like, don't see things. Brian Underwood says this all the time. Like, don't see things worse than they are. Just see them for where they're at and then make a plan to execute every single day to move yourself forward. So this is where, like, I'm unsubscribing from all the nonsense that I tell myself every single day. And it's time to get to work. So if you guys are ready to unsubscribe from all of your nonsense and you want to get to work, give me some thumbs up and type it in the comments. Because I think it's true. Like, we get to do this. We don't have to do this. So if you're feeling like this is like a chore or whatever, like, understand that, like, it's network marketing. You have to work, right? And the work doesn't have to be a chore. if you come from a place of like gratitude and from excitement about the fact that like you get the next person that you get to talk to could be your Mandy Mitchell or Michael Rutherford underneath you. The next person that you talk to could be an amazing Inspire On story, and you got the opportunity to change that person's life. So instead of coming at it like, okay, I don't really want to do this stuff or I'm afraid to do it, get excited. So what I'm going to start doing, and I'm just going to literally give you my playbook of what I'm personally going to do to get myself going. The very first thing before I even get started for the day, and I think I say this a lot to you guys, and I do definitely say it to my team, because we are in a business of helping people that aren't their best, but we get to do that. We have the opportunity and the tools and the trick, like the communities for them to plug into to be their best selves. So before I even am able to do that, I need to get my stuff sorted. And before I do that, I need to practice self-care, get myself in a good headspace, listen to like whatever song that pumps me up in the morning, get my movement in, and then go and start executing. So if you're missing that piece and you're literally just waking up in the morning and firing up your phone and it's just, boom, well, my order's late, or where's my reboot, or why is there reboots in the middle of the month, or blah, blah, blah. Like if you're not in a good space mentally to handle yourself, your team, or your customers, how are you going to be the best leader for them? So that is the very, very first thing that I am going to do. The second thing I'm going to subscribe to, I really like this little unsubscribe, subscribe metaphor thing. I'm going to subscribe to do the work that I don't want to do. Like the manual stuff, and I'm going to show you the stuff that I know I need to do, that I need to make sure I'm doing every single day. So just do it. Like do it anyway. Whenever it gets in your head, like, oh, I don't want to message this person, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, do it anyway. If you really challenge yourself to do things that you don't want to be doing, do it anyway. Your business is going to explode and you're going to start building that momentum. So here's exactly step by step. I kind of wrote it out for you guys, and then I'll type it out at some point so you guys can see it and don't have to like, you'll have it like as a checklist or whatever. So the first thing I'm going to do is customer reach outs, like current customers, 5 and 10-day experiences, people on my website, people on the fence, like check in with them, make sure they're good, tell them just thank you. So it's not awkward when Unleash shows up and you haven't talked to this person for 3 months and you're already developing these relationships, right? So one thing that I took away from a power hour the other day was that I reached out to a customer and just said thank you to them. And I was like, hey, are you drinking free ketones? This girl has been in my community and drinking ketones for like a year now. And she'd had no idea about 1, Smart Chip discount, and 2, the free product program. So don't, like, even if it's awkward and you haven't talked to this person in however long, just rip the Band-Aid off and say, hey, I know I haven't touched base with you in a really long time. Wanted to see how you were doing. It doesn't have to be about product. It can just genuinely be a human thing. So once we start leading with our hearts, like, and just talking to people like as a human being, because you genuinely have no agenda and you want to check in with them, that should get you invigorated and fired up, because people will be like, hey, like, I can't tell you how many responses people had said, oh my God, like, thanks for checking on me. I can't believe like you checked in. So make sure that you are doing your check-ins. Like, how many of you guys lost a customer because you didn't really take them through a full experience? Like that's 5 and 10 day, like they went into like a Pruvit protection program, either as a customer or as a promoter, and you have no idea what happened. And they said the product didn't work, and it's probably because you didn't take them through the cycle or set that up for success. So you want to make sure that, like, this is what I'm doing, pulling my reports and making sure that I'm doing those check-ins every single day. The next thing that I'm going to do is like start showing up to power hours. And if I can't show up to those power hours, I'm pulling that sheet and I'm doing my own. So does everyone know where the PDF of the power hour is, or how to do a power hour, or watch the replay of the power hours that are posted in the Business Builders group? Does everyone know where that is or can access it? I can't see everyone, so just type in the chat box. Because if you don't know, just hit up your upline and we'll get it going for you, or we'll tag you in it. But it's in the business builders group, like the PDF of like how to do customer reach outs, and I'll take you through like how to engage your profile, how to prospect. All of those things are super, super, super important. So showing up just at least 1 hour a day to move your business forward is going to start building that momentum. The next thing I'm going to do is use the Unleashed Eclipse promo to my advantage. We have something like, we know that it's happening well in advance. Like, how many times do you get a little like, oh my God, there's a sale today, and you had no idea, and you had your whole day planned out, and you had to like go and reorganize your whole day, right? So we have well in advance, like, what is it, Wednesday? And I think it drops Monday. So we can use this to our advantage to build excitement. So how many of you guys are getting cool feedback about all of the social media posts about the eclipse is coming? Are you guys getting cool feedback, or like people are just asking questions? Because I know people are like, why do you even care about Twilight? And why did you post a picture of a butt in a moon? Like, I did that for funny. If you guys didn't see it, you can go check my profile. But like, I just played with it. Like, have fun with this promo. But you have to take a proactive approach. You can't just post things on Facebook and then expect like to be ranked 7, right? So here's what I'm going to do. Does everyone know how to pull their report on who ordered Unleashed before? And Rebecca, I will go into how to reinvigorate your profile. I'm going to show you exactly step by step how you can get more engagement. But does everyone know how to pull the report? Julie does. Miranda does. Okay, perfect. So, and if you don't know how, I was going to show you, but a lot of people seem like they know how to do it. So pull your report of anybody that has ever ordered Unleashed Ruby Red, Unleashed Black Cherry, the old one, Black Midnight, the one that made your poop all weird. Like, reach out to those people and message them. Oh my God, girl, I know that you loved your Unleashed and how it made you feel. Do you want to get on my wait list for the new flavor that's coming out on Monday? Or don't tell them when it's coming out, but just like, reach out to them, have a human conversation, tell them a new flavor is coming. Do you want to get on the wait list? And if you want, start taking pre-orders, like get on the wait list for 1. And 2, if somebody complains that it's too expensive and doesn't want to buy a whole box, split them in 10 days and take their money now, so that when it goes live, you can buy a whole bunch of boxes and you have everything to sample out. Whereas before, we never had advance notice, so it was just like hard. You had to just kind of make an attempt to like make sure that you had enough product. So make sure that you just start taking pre-orders or tell people like.
Alrighty,
I don't know what happened.
Are you back?
Yeah, sorry.
I couldn't tell. I was like, I guess I'm the only one that's having that's completely muted. All right, you're good. Keep going.
Okay, sorry. Let me start it's still recording. So that was really weird. I literally touched nothing. Can everyone hear me okay? Okay, that was super weird.
Yes.
So take pre-orders for 10 days or make a whole wait list like with your Google form and say, hey, this is coming out. Do you want to be notified as soon as it gets released so that you don't miss it, because it's probably going to sell out because we've been pre-promoing it forever. It like when the rank 6s had opportunity to buy it, it sold out in a couple hours. So make sure that you are prepared for that. Okay, the next thing is social media. So social media, like who's frustrated? I know like Rebecca said she's frustrated. And is everyone good? Can hear me? Because it's saying my internet's unstable and I don't understand.
You're good.
Okay, so the best way to really get into your profile, I was going to screen share and I'm a little nervous to do this, is to literally go into your friends list and start talking to people. Like how many people are on your friends list versus how many people are drinking ketones. This is why your profiles are dead and you're relying on the algorithm to show it to people. If you're not taking a proactive approach and engaging with people, you are not going to have good engagement. And it's just really, really, really important to make sure that you're doing this kind of stuff. So start at the A's and just go pop on their profile. Hey, Amanda, great. Your dog's super cute. Hope you're doing. You're doing well. Hey, your kid's super cute. Hey, I saw that you made a post about being tired. Send them a message. You know, like be the observer of things that are going on with people on your friends list so that you're able to make connections with them. So one, post every day, and then two, make sure that you are able to break the algorithm by re-engaging with people. So is everyone committed to building momentum by starting at the A's and going all the way down? Okay, good. So it's just really important to do that. Who is going live every day? This is something that I stopped doing because I got into my head and I was getting pissed off because Billy Funk had way more views than me. And just kidding. But you know what I mean? Like, we just talk ourselves out of the beat. We talk ourselves out of doing the things that we know we should be doing for whatever reason, or I didn't have makeup on, or I feel chubby, or whatever the case may be for you. Like, or I just don't want to do it. You don't have to go live for 30 minutes. You can just go pop on. Like, I remember when we did the 30-day live challenge last year. One, my engagement on my profile was popping because I was consistent every single day. And two, I would go live for like 3 minutes and show my dog running around like a crazy person. It doesn't always have to be about keto. You don't have to. You're still Michelle. Just because you joined Pruvit doesn't mean that you've lost all of the rest of your whole life. So is everyone familiar with the 2-1-2 method? So if you write down things that go, like, take out a piece of paper, things that describe yourself, like things that you love, like I love dogs, I love ketones, I love plants. They die all the time, but I really try to keep them going. I hate being cold. I love Chipotle. All of these things describe me, right? And then you write down all of the things that you love about ketones, right? Write them all down. You love the energy, you love the fat loss, you love whatever, all of those benefits. Don't make medical claims, please, please, please. Stick to the things on the box that you love. And then write down things like your dreams. Like, what are you most excited about, you know, in the realm of ketones? Or I want to buy a beach house and I'm really excited that I get to decorate my apartment. And all of these things that I can share on my profile that has nothing to do with ketones, but it's still post ideas to keep you engaged and be authentic to yourself instead of being a billboard to prove it. I mean, I love being a billboard to prove it, but you have to do it strategically, right? Is all this making sense to you? Does anyone have any questions? Okay, cool. So who is familiar with the stories feature in their messenger? Who is you? Of course, Billy, you are. But like, who is using stories on Facebook? Of course, Billy. So no one else? So here's the thing that I learned that is like a really awesome way to connect with people. So did you know that when you tap on someone's story, it goes right, and then respond to it, it goes right into their messenger? So this girl, Ashley, right? She's drank ketones before. She's making shirts right now. So guess what I'm gonna do? Oh my God, that shirt's super cute. And it's going into her messenger. And then she's gonna be like, hey girl, what's up? And those types of things. Yeah, your Instagram and your Facebook can sync up. So like if you're doing Instagram stories, it will go to your Facebook stories. So this is a really good way to get in people's messenger. It's really awesome to do this a few times before you go live or make a post, because it's gonna get people into your newsfeed. And did you guys know underneath the stories, I don't know what it looks like on an Android, but you know those little like hands right underneath? I don't know if you guys can see. You see all those hands right there? Did you know if you hit them and you just wave hello to someone, it goes into their Facebook? Now, I really don't want to hit my ex, but I could wave to him, but I probably should. He's never drank ketones before, but you can wave hello to a whole bunch of people on here right before you go live. And then they're going to want to pop on your profile and be like, oh, if I hit Damien right now and I'm like, boop, wave, he's going to go to my profile and probably be like, oh, you're talking about keto again. We're friends, but I just don't really like to engage as much as I can. But you know what I mean? Like, doing all of this stuff and not being afraid if you haven't talked to this person in a while, you can just be like, and if you're really afraid to do it, you can just be like, oh my God, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. And then talk to them. How are you? What's going on? They'll go into your profile. So these are all ways to break the algorithm and consistently do it every day. And the more that you guys are doing it, the more your Facebook's going to start popping off. So those are my tips for social media. Oh, one more thing. Make new connections. So how many of you guys have been talking to the same people over and over and over again? This is one thing that I tell our team all of the time, like, stop beating a dead horse. If they say no, if they haven't answered you, they're not going to answer you. They're not interested. That doesn't mean they're not interested right now, but let them contact you when they're ready, and still engage on their profile, but just stop messaging them. So the ways to make new connections is by going into Facebook groups. And I'm not saying go subscribe to every single keto Facebook group. We're all in them. We're all competing. They all hate exogenous ketones for the most part. They all hate me because I always say the Powerade's awful and Premier Protein. But what I'm doing is I'm looking for German Shepherd groups, or like I follow a spiritual girl named Gabrielle Bernstein. So like I make connections in there and like just talk to people in there. So people will then add me as a friend, or I can add them as a friend. And then once they accept, I can say, hey, thanks for your friendship. Like, how are you? These are all ways to reinvigorate and start having conversations. Notice I'm not saying like, hey, do you want to buy 10-day, or do you know anything about ketones? It's developing relationships to build momentum so that people are eventually going to see the stuff that you're posting on Facebook and be interested and have that curiosity. This is all attraction tips that build momentum. So, and then the other tip about making connections is like search for groups on Facebook that are like keto in your area. So there's a really amazing keto group in Myrtle Beach that I had no idea about. And it's called Keto 843. And I'm like super engaged in there. I'm meeting a bunch of people. I'm finally building my community locally because I'm just focusing my time and energy in there and giving value, and then adding all of these people as friends. And once they accept me, I'm just like, hey, I'm in Myrtle Beach. Like, we should connect sometime. And then there's your local community that you can start having mixers, and you can really build your local community. So when Unleashed comes out, you can have 4 or 5 people to come over to your house, or you can meet them at Starbucks and shake up some ketones. So that's the way to like make new connections and start having conversations. And then the last thing is like, is everyone familiar with like meetup.com or meetup.org? I forget what it is. So it's the same kind of concept as Facebook, but it's all scheduled meetups. So you can go into meetup.org or meetup.com, I forget what it is, and sign up for a profile, and then Google like, or create your own, because when you create your own group, if there is no keto whatever in your area, it actually sends a message to everyone that's in the local area that like Wendy created a new keto group in Texas. So it will tell people, and then people will join. Like, I didn't even realize this, but like I created the group and 100 people joined. I was like, holy moly. So now I have 100 people that joined my own group that I now can schedule a meetup, whether people come or not, it doesn't really matter. But there's 100 people now that I get to go talk to. Will 100 people buy ketones? Yeah, because I decided that they're going to buy ketones. So that is like how you guys build momentum and like get yourselves out of your head and like into action. Was this helpful? Cool. Like, this is literally my game plan. Like 1000%, like what I wrote down is like what I'm going to be executing. And I think, holding each other accountable is a really good way to, make sure that we are building on the momentum and like keeping going. So there's that. And then the last thing I just want to gently talk about is, well, first, does anyone have any questions? Please feel free to ask. Like, this is like, I know it was like a fire hose of information, and I know that like I might be an expert at like what I'm talking about, but like you guys might have questions. Yes, I can send out my bullet points for sure. Okay. Nope. Going once, going twice. Facebook stories, you just go into your messenger on Facebook and you literally, it can say, it goes, there's a plus sign, and you could just take a picture and that's it. Does that make sense, Tony? Okay. The last thing I want to talk about is like being accountable and being responsible for like following directions. Like, I think we were all in that chat, right? That says like no thumbs and no comments. Like, I'm not trying to be like Debbie Downer or whatever, but the thing that I learned at LCD is that like every time that we don't take responsibility for our actions and like don't read the directions, we actually lose money. And I know this sounds really, really trivial, but like how many times have you maybe, again, going back to the conversation of how many times have you lost the customer because you didn't follow up, or like how many times did you misread something and it costs you money, or a huge mistake at work or wherever. So I just wanted to like just say like let's not do like let's make sure that we're reading things and like following directions, because like it really is important. I know it sounds so super stupid and I'm nagging and everything, but it really is a matter of like making sure that you follow directions. And like we all want to run our businesses without a chatty Cathy group. So if we can just make sure that we're doing that and just not only just applying it to the chat, like apply it to your everyday life and your business, you're going to see like results way better. So does anyone else have any questions? Are you guys super excited to get into momentum? Who wants to unmute and say like what they're going to do starting like as soon as possible that they haven't been doing, or a big takeaway? Let's end on that.
I have one, Mandy.
Go.
Getting in different Facebook groups. Like we have always been good about doing mixers and stuff and getting our teams group to get new, to help them. And we've done different setups and stuff, but I've never thought about really just getting in my community and being friends in my community, like different things.
Yeah.
Or in Facebook communities, different groups. I've heard it, but then I've just never taken the time. And I guess I've kind of blown it off really because we have been kind of busy. Huh?
Yeah,
and
no,
so
for sure. I agree with you 100%.
Because that is the biggest thing we need to do is get new people, like you said. Just the more we just move forward, the more it's just going to be that better. And that's a great way. And I appreciate that. Great tip. Thanks for bringing it back around.
Yeah, no problem. I'm super excited to see where your business will go once you start doing that. And like guys, like I said, it doesn't have to be keto groups. It can be any type of thing. Like go give value. Like if somebody is saying like currently my dog right now is like constantly licking his paws. So I joined like a German Shepherd group and I asked the question, but like all of those people, I was just like, oh my God, thank you so much for helping me out. Like really appreciate it. Like send messages. And it's like, yes, does it take time? For sure, to connect with all of those people. But it is really, really important to like making sure that you're doing this kind of stuff to make just having conversations, because the bigger your network is, the more people are going to have eyeballs on whatever Facebook Live or whatever post or whatever, curiosity thing that you're building. So the more conversations that you're having, not necessarily about ketones, it's just about building your network. So one thing that I'm going to do, my action step is literally starting at A's and go down. I have to delete people because I have 5,000 friends. And it's something that I've been putting off a lot, but I definitely do know that I just started doing like a little bit of engagement and doing the waves to people. I've literally said, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. But like, who cares? I started I've started talking to people that I haven't talked to in a really long time, and it's not even about ketones. It's just like, oh wow, it's really great to talk to you. Like, cool. So just having those conversations, because then guess what? They pop into your newsfeed. So if you're seeing too many Pruvit promoters in your newsfeed, it's time to start getting into action. So cool. Well, I think I'm done. If anybody else has anything else to ask or add, and if not, then we're done.
Thank you so much, Mandy, for running this. There was tons of value.
Cool.
Absolutely. I appreciate it.
Glad you liked it. Everyone stay warm if you're cold. And this call is officially a wrap.
That was awesome, Mandy. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Bye, guys.
Thanks, Mandy.